appreciate you coming, and a great crowd again today. Obviously, Maryland was better than us in every area. Didn't have any, the energy in the first half. I thank the second group there that came in and gave us great energy in the second half. It's a 40-minute league. And I tell our guys this all the time. We beat Maryland at Maryland. They came in here and they won. So, Kevin Willard, tip of the hat. They got in the lane. We didn't do what we needed to do. I really thought in the first half our inability to make a free throw, and we missed 3 1-and-1s just to kind of hang around and stay a little closer, really hurt us. But, I got to get us to play better, and, that's obviously on me. And, we still got a lot of basketball left, and, we've been inconsistent, and I need to try to get us consistent here down the stretch.
Steve, why was Maryland more physical? How much of that was guys being let down over missed shots?
I think we do have that, and we have a little bit of an identity, like, in games, Minnesota, we're making shots, and then our defense kind of lets us down. This game, we weren't making shots, and then we're going to the free throw line and not capitalizing, where we needed to do. And I do think we do have that, some of that. And, we had a group in there at the end there that played with great energy, kind of clawed us back. I think it was a 10-point game. We had a breakaway layup that we, didn't convert. And we needed all those things to kind of happen for us, especially after spotting them. And they're really good. They're really good defensively. They're one of the best teams in the country defensively. We just never really got into a rhythm. And, again, the free throw line really hurt us here at home and could have kept us in it a little bit more. But I do think that affects us when the ball's not going in. It affects us, and that's a bad personality trait.
Steve, you went about 11 and a half minutes without a basket during a stretch there. Yeah. As a coach, is that frustrating, embarrassing, make you angry?
I mean, we did down there too. So, they're really good. The difference was we didn't allow them to score for 12 minutes. So, that's what they kind of do, and that's how they've won games this year. So I tip of the hat to them. But, again, the shots that we do get have a chance to go in. And then when you're at that free throw line, 3 1-and-1s in the first, you got to come away with a point during that stretch. And we didn't. So is it frustrating? I mean, this league is tough. I mean, every game's different. There's really good teams, really good coaches. And so when you're in a stretch like that, you still got to figure out a way. And I thought we could kind of claw ourselves back into this basketball game. I held them 63 points, but can't put up 46. That's not where we want to be. And, obviously against a team like that, and they got us on the inside. They made their free throws, just a lot of things that we didn't do.
Steve, you guys have had Jeremiah in the lineup for 7 games. Have you felt that opponents have adjusted to what he brings, and kind of what's the next step for you guys in that?
Yeah, I mean, always that, that happens. There's tapes out, and, there's tapes out on everybody. And when you're playing well, they're going to key on you. They're going to take advantage of whatever they think they can take advantage of. And when teams have extra time, then they can take more advantage of that. But, that happens. He's a good player, and, he continues to play hard. He did a great job in the second half. But, that definitely is what happens. When Cliff has a good game, the next time you play, there's a different kind of defensive scheme that he's going to see. These coaches are good, and their team is good. And I thought Reese did a good job in the post. I thought Cliff, the last time we played, was and they made a couple of changes. They did some things against us that, they didn't do the first time too. So that's what happens.
Coach, the Maryland got an edge in the glass. What did you make of just, I know you touched on it a little bit there, but how the matchup went in the glass and why you felt they were able to do that?
They got a big edge too. I mean, we went small because I thought that group gave us some energy, and Oscar at the 5, and we scored some points during that stretch, and I thought we kind of got a little momentum going on. But when you go small, you're going to give up something, and Geronimo did a good job on the glass, and now you got smaller guys boxing out other guys, and and that's what happens. And when you're looking for solutions in the game, you try some different lineups and matchups. And I was thankful that, Austin stayed with it. He's been one of those guys that, his knees, and sometimes he can't play, sometimes he can. I didn't play him in the first half. And, in the second half, he gave us some good energy and some toughness. So a little tip of the hat, to him for staying the course and being able to kind of give us some of that energy. But you're also replacing bigger guys with smaller guys, and they took advantage of that on the glass, for sure.
Steve, it seems like there's been a concerted effort, at least from the Big Ten, to hand out technicals to prevent trash talk. Were you notified about that going into the season, and what's your opinion on that?
I mean, it's starting to become a thing, around the country. A lot of technicals, and there's been some fights and some other things. So there's been some memos out and, that kind of thing. It's just, there's a lot of obstacles in this league, and there's a lot of, it's not just the other team, it's the other coach. It's, playing on the road's an obstacle, and now, how the whistle's being blown. So we got to do a better job of making sure we're not in the crosshairs there, and so, there is more of an emphasis, and they're sensitive about those things, and, there's always emphasis every year about something, and so this is a big stretch right now where they're into that.
Ellis, after being out last game, Watt Mag played 18 minutes. How's he feeling after today's game? And
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mawat's, been really battling. I'm proud of him. It's not easy having that injury, and there's a toll it takes, and some days he can practice, some days he can't, some days he can play, some days he can't, so those guys have had to, fight through it and stuff. I hope he feels okay, but, we go game by game, with him, unfortunately.
Jared, Steve, you can continue to fill this place. Do you have a message to your fans who obviously are leaving disappointed?
I love it, but I also, they've been awesome. The reason we've won 85% of our home games over the last 5 years is because of the fan base. They come, they've seen a lot of W's. They've seen some L's, obviously, too, but they have been, fantastic. And students were there today. It's, early game, too. You just never know. And they were loud, and they really tried to get us, going in the second half. And, I know you guys know this. I appreciate it. I try to thank them every time I see them. They make a huge, huge difference. And we really, we're really thankful for them coming out all the time and, just being supportive. And these guys are working. They really are, and I want them to know that they represent the program the right way, and they're working. And so, stay the course, and appreciate their support always.
John?
Coach, you spoke on the offensive struggles tonight. Tonight it just seemed like you guys were holding the ball a little bit longer. I want to know, is that a credit to that 1-3-1 they threw at you, or do you think overall it was just a tough shooting night and just tough overall offensive?
Yeah, both. So, they're a really good defensive team first and foremost. So that's how they built their identity too. So we knew it wasn't easy the first game. We knew it was going to be easy the second game. But they did a really good job, being active and doing some different things. I think once we started moving the basketball better, and I won't really want to get out and transition, but they throw a lot of different stuff at you. They got some full court stuff. They're really a lot like us. We throw a lot of different things at you, so keeps you off rhythm and what have you. And then, when you're searching for answers, you're subbing guys in, and it's a little bit different. But I really believe in the first half, if the free throw line is your best asset during tough scoring times, and you got to go there and especially when you're struggling to make shots, and that's a big part of it. And I haven't been able to get us to shoot free throws the way that we need to. On the road, we're very good from the free throw line. I just don't know why here at home we're not as successful. That needs to change, especially in a game like this. When we're making threes like we did against Wisconsin, it's not as glaring. But when you struggle to score, you want to get to the free throw line, and we got to do a better job. We certainly do.
Last few here, Brian.
Steve Watt sat for 13 minutes after he got teched. Was that because of the tech? Was that his pain management?
I was just going with that group that was playing well. So I love Mawat. It wasn't I was just looking for a group, and that group was playing with great energy. They were sharing the ball. They were playing together, and I just wanted to kind of ride a group that I felt was playing well at that point in time.
Sorry, just a quick follow up on that. What was the explanation you got on his tech and Austin's tech?
I wish I could remember, but his was a push. I think like some there was a push, and Austin, I guess, he said block that shot or something like that. So Austin said something. I don't know how you can hear things. I can't hear anything, but it is what it is, and when you need points, and those things happen. So that's what I kind of think it was.
Coach, Jeremiah Williams finished with 4 fouls. Cliff had 3. How much of a factor do you think like the fouls that were picked up during the game had on sort of?
I mean, as you guys know, it's not the first time I said that. How the whistle's being blown always affects the game. So that's not anything new. That's every game, and Jeremiah's got to do a real good job. We talked a lot about that, about making sure he doesn't pick up the bad ones. And I would say the same thing to Andre and Cliff. When you get a couple of those, when you get the real ones, the bad ones really, double down and hurt you. But, refs have tough jobs, and we got to do a better job of defending without fouling, especially those guys, important guys for us.
All right, thank you guys.
I appreciate you guys being here, really do. Thank you.